So, what's the point in holding cash anymore? But what a silly question. But many people are thinking it more and more. I get asked this question about where to hold cash savings just about every week from my clients. And I get comments that range from, Martin, we've just got to do better, to, I can remember when interest rates were 12%. How come we can't get those rates anymore? Well, let's face it, interest rates have now been on the floor for so long, decent interest rates in deposit savings are now a distant memory. There are people in their 20s and 30s who've never known an era of interest rates that return double-digit returns. What is the problem if interest rates are low and inflation returns? The idea of having too much cash is hardly likely to get much sympathy from most of the population, as unfortunately most people do not have enough savings. However, on the other side of the fence, it's quite often the case that those who do have decent savings hold too much of it in cash. And this has been put back on the agenda for investors with a warning that inflation could soon reach 4% per annum. Needless to say, if that does happen, it's not good news for your money. So if inflation rises only a few percentage points and the best savings accounts pay only 1%, the real value of money is going to start to fall noticeably. In the short term, we can probably live with this, but if inflation remains an ongoing problem, we have a problem. In simple terms, the erosion of the purchasing power stops cash being the safe asset we like to think that it is. Yes, cash is king, but only up to a point. So the problem with eroding cash value is that it is an invisible threat. We don't see it happening, and often it's only over the longer term that we see the effect. If you can remember when a pint of beer cost less than £1, you'll know what I mean. So what should we do with our spare cash? Now, history is no indication of what the future will hold, and the value of any investment can go down as well as up. But let's look for a moment. Look back into the history books. If you'd invested £100 in the UK stock market in 1945, it would have been worth, listen to this, £179,695 by 2015 with dividends invested, compared to £2,661 if it had been saved in cash. This is according to the Barclays Equity Gilt study. There is of course no certainty that this will be repeated. So what should you be doing regarding your spare cash? Firstly, you need money for emergencies, and this varies for all of us. At the very least, hold up to 3 months expenditure, and for some that could be even up to 12 months expenditure. Prudent financial planning suggests you need to have cash available. Replace the boiler, change the washing machine, or pay for unexpected work on your car. Rainy day money if you like. So this money needs to be accessible and safe from any fall in value. So perhaps investing the rest, but beware of market volatility. In the short term, markets can be volatile, and the last thing many investors want to see is the value of their investments to fall. So the amount of risk an investor can afford to take and are prepared to take are really important. There is a perception that as soon as money is moved out of cash and into an investment, the money is immediately exposed to high risk. Well, not so. Stepping into the investment world can be daunting. However, there are a whole spectrum of risks that are open to investors, from cautious investing to plain, simple, ultra-aggressive portfolios. Put simply, there are plenty of options which a good financial advisor will be able to help you with. The difficulty investors face is weighing up the opportunity cost of keeping the money in cash when it could possibly be out there working more effectively by being invested. In the short term, cash is clearly a much safer option than investing. So when making decisions to invest some money, your timescale is really important. Investments need time to work well, and for the short term, market movements could affect the value of your investments. So to be successful, investors need a time horizon of probably a minimum of 5 years, and even longer is going to give you an even better chance of making good returns over and above cash. So if you're thinking you're holding too much cash on deposit, maybe now's the time to consider investing some of your money as a hedge against inflation. So it's always advisable to take advice from a professional financial advisor when making major financial decisions. Our name's Martin Dodd, and I look forward to talking to you again.